Hey guys, Chris Callaway here with Callaway Classics. Today I'm showing you how to look at paint on cars. And what I mean by that is after a few minutes of walking around a car, you should be able to get an idea if it has a good paint job or not. So we're using 3 cars today that are all black. First one being a 1965 Mercury Comet Cyclone. This is what I would call an average paint job. It's not too great, it's not too bad. It's just run of the mill. It's something that you'll see on a lot of cars out there. This car will look at inside and outside so you get an idea of how the paint can change in natural light versus artificial light. This car over here is a 1967 Mustang Fastback. This is a near perfect paint job. This has a show finish to it. This is a good example of what a high quality premium paint job would look like. And the last one over here is a 1966 Chevy Impala station wagon. This car is really neat. This is an all original, unrestored, original paint car. So that'll give you an idea of what the paint will look like from a factory car back in the 60s. So if you're anything like me and you have the attention span of goldfish, you can just jump to this minute mark that I'm pointing at right here, and that'll give you the meat and potatoes of the video. If you have a little bit more time and you want some context and background information as to what we're doing here, stick around. So like I said before, what we're trying to do when I say look at the paint on a car is to be able to look it up and down and all around in a few minutes and tell whether it has a good paint job or not. Most cars, if they're one color and they don't have any rust that is blatantly showing, they look good from 10 feet away. But on closer inspection in a certain light, you'll start to find imperfections here and there. And pretty much all cars out there will have imperfections. It's just a matter of how many they are. I mean, painting is such a difficult thing to get perfectly right. There's always something. So some of the things that you'll find as far as imperfections go are waves in the paint. That's undulations in the paintwork. You'll see that when we do a close-up of one of these cars. Blemishes, whether that is cracked or splitting paint. Body filler, also known as bondo, that's what a lot of people call it. All the cars have a little bit of body filler here and there to smooth everything over, but when people try and patch rust holes or what have you and use an excessive amount of bondo, that's when you start to have problems. And you'll typically see that crack in the paint. Bubbles is something else that you see, and that's typically caused by rust. It could be other things, but you'll start to see the paint bubble even if the rust is not coming through visibly. Scratches and dents, that's just kind of wear and tear. You'll see if you drive the car, eventually you're going to get a scratch or a dent. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast if you actually take your car out. But what you're looking for are big dents or big scratches that jump out at you when you're looking at a car. Paint drips, you typically see those down low on the rockers. But it can be, that's just when there's too much paint laid on and it's like it sounds, it's just a paint drip. We'll find one of those later on one of these cars. Dirt in the paint, you'll see it just looks like undulations or speckles in the paint. That's typically dirt or bad prep work underneath. Bad clear coat, if the clear coat doesn't set right, you'll see that. Actually, one of these cars has that. We'll show you what that looks like. Color shade variation, that is if someone replaced the fender and the hood and the door were fine and they didn't paint match it correctly, you'll see a slight color shade change between the two. And that could be, like I said before, painting is so difficult that you could have the same batch of paint that you used 6 months ago, but if your environment that you're painting the car again the second time is different humidity, different temperature, different air pressure, the paint won't come out the same. So matching paint is very difficult if you have any repairs on your car. Last thing is zebra stripes, which you don't see too often, but that is something when they're doing the roads, when laying the paint down, if they don't have the correct overlap, you'll see a darker color, then lighter color, then darker shade, then lighter shade, then darker shade. They call it zebra stripe because it looks like a zebra. Another thing, we're using all black cars here because it's the most difficult color to paint. And it's also the most difficult color to own and maintain because imperfections show the most on black cars. If you've ever owned a black car, you know what I'm talking about. They're clean for about 5 minutes after you wash them. And every little scratch, nick, what have you, it jumps at you much more than it does other colors. And lastly, before we take a look up and down the side of these cars here, I'm doing this video with old classic cars, but this is applicable to new cars as well. I just happen to be using these cars because that's what we do at Callaway Classics. We buy and sell classic cars and trucks, mainly from the 60s and early 70s. But we also do newer stuff, especially vehicles from the 2000s and Japanese cars from the 90s. So when I'm looking at those cars as well, I take the same stuff that we're talking about here and apply it to those as well. If a car's been repainted, a new one, and it's a bad paint job, it's still evident and still seen the same way as you do looking at these cars. So that being said, let's take a look at these up close. All right, so here we are looking down the side of our average paint car, the Mercury Comet. And when you're looking at paint, what you want to do is you treat the paint as a mirror. So you find something in the paint that's reflected in there. And in this example, we're going to use the red Fox body there in the background. And what you do is you look how it moves up and down the body in the mirrored reflection of the paint. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know how else to explain it a little bit better. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the back. We're going to take a look at the wheel here, the Mustang, and I'm going to show you waves in the paint. So look at the door of the Comet and see how that wheel goes back. As I move the camera back and forth, that wheel, it's not a perfect reflection. It has undulations in it. Now granted, even if you have a perfect paint job, everything in the reflection isn't going to be reflected perfectly flat because every car has contour to its body. What you're looking for is consistency in the paint. And like I said here, a lot of people say that wheel is waving at you in the paint. And you can see a little bit up top as well in the body lines. So that's a prime example of what waves in the paint looks like. That's the biggest thing you look for when you're looking at cars and paint. And then there's a number of other things, but that's, when I look at a car, that's the first thing I jump to. So bear with me here with my camera work. I'm going to try and convey this across the internet and on a video as best I can without showing you in person. Might have a few wiggles here, but so now we're just going to go up and down the body. I'm just going to go slowly, and as we go, I'm going to point out any imperfections I see. So right there, you've got a little in the upper body. There's something going on there. You can see a wave in the paint, and you're kind of reflecting the mirror of that Fox body, the red car. See, that's just not a consistent. There is undulations and there is movement in the paint with the body line, but there's something else with it there. So that's a prime example of a blemish in the paint. And you can see here the paint got a little more dull there, right in this area. I'm not sure exactly what's happening there with it, but that is reflected in, no pun intended, that's what you do see in person. All right, so we're gonna take a look down here. So now that's a perfect example right there of it's a paint chip right there. That's what we're looking at, and at that angle that I just moved the camera to, you can see that. Jumps out at you. In person, it's the same way. And I'm swinging over here to show you, that's a crack in the paint right there. All right, so we're gonna get a little bit lower here, show you a paint drip right there. It's a prime example of one. Now, just to give you an idea, comparison of what it looks like, the paint will look like outside versus inside, here you go. So another thing to note is that if a car is out in the shade, it's much more forgiving on the paint versus in the direct sunlight. And then when you're on artificial lights, there's different types of lights that are much harsher or much easier on paint as well. So lighting is very instrumental in changing the way the paint looks. So here's an example of some bad clear coat. We see this small white line here in the ridge of the fender. So this is likely a result of bad prep work. They don't always look like this when the clear coat goes bad, but there's other forms that it can be in, but this is just one of them. It doesn't have any rough texture, it's just a visual effect. Sometimes this can be fixed with buffing or wet sanding. This car is not too bad, you don't notice it until you're really up close, but just want to show you what some bad clear coat can look like. Now here's an area of the car that has paint bubbling up. So this is not likely due to rust because that's not a typical rust area. If this car was going to rust, it would rust in the wheel wells or closer to the back window. There's no signs of that on this car. So this is probably bad prep. It's hard to say exactly what's going on here, but it's what it looks like. The paint is losing its adhesion and it's rising up off of the body itself. So I just want to showcase this. On this car, you can barely see it until you catch it just in the right light. And here's another angle of it, but things to look out for when you're looking at these. All right, so here we are with our show car. This is the high quality paint job that I was talking about earlier on our 67 Mustang Fastback. And we'll see how it compares to the average paint job of the Comet. This particular car is painted by someone who is extremely talented craftsman. He's done a couple cars for us and some of the best paint jobs I've ever seen. So as you'll see here, a lot of this video quality doesn't translate to what you see in real life. It's hard to have it pop out of the screen to be exactly what you see. It's just like the Grand Canyon, pictures don't do it justice. But this car is phenomenal and as straight as can be. So let's take a look at the wheel here on the red Mustang and we'll try and see if there's any waves, which there are not, but we'll see just how flat this is. So as we go back and forth, very smooth mirror finish. And granted, like I was talking about earlier, every car has different body lines, so we kind of ignore those, but what we're looking for is consistency in the paint itself. That's very nice. So let's take a step back here and we'll start at the back and work our way up. This particular car is a resto mod, so it's got coilover suspension and a bunch of other goodies, and a Roush small block 427 in it. So, very fun car. See, it's very consistent from panel to panel. There's no flatness. Lack of shine, lack of any dullness. No scratches, no pits, no dents. This is just overall a very, very clean car. And again, not knocking the Comet or whoever restored the Comet. The Comet's a decent car. Overall, it's in pretty great shape. But this is just to show you an example that is above and beyond many of the other cars that are out there. And it's really just for comparison's sake. So that when you're out at a car show, just admiring other people's cars, or if you're actually going to buy a car yourself, this video is just to help you get a general idea of what you're looking for. Here's a quick side-by-side comparison of the high-end paint job versus the average paint job, just so you can see them right next to each other to get an idea of how they compare. All right, here we are, last but not least, our 1966 Impala wagon that is all original paint. So this car's never been restored, still wears factory paint. It's just a fun, neat piece, just for comparison's sake, giving you an idea of what an original paint car looks like. A common misconception with original paint cars is that they are perfect paint, and everyone thinks that, not everyone, but a lot of people think that. and then they see an original paint car and don't believe that it's original paint because it's not high quality. You have to remember these were volume production vehicles back in the day, and they were being painted by hand, not machines. So there's going to be imperfections. This one's in pretty decent shape, but you'll see just over time, I mean, it's a very old car, so it's got scratches here. You can see the taillight. It's got some battle wounds there. So, but it's very cool all around. It's a 396 4-speed car, and let's take a look up and down. So the biggest difference is a lot of these old cars have orange peel from the factory, which I don't know if it's going to show up in the video or not. That is just basically it almost looks like it has the texture of an orange in the paint. And I'll do a little video of the up top also, so you get an idea of what to look for or what to see, just what kind of overall condition this is for original paint. So you got something in the paint there. It looks like dirt, but it's not actually dirt, or it looks like someone leaned on the car, but it's not. It's actually in the paint. So got a scratch here. And here you can see where the paint's showing its wear. Has these blemishes here. Yeah, if you touch it, you can feel it's a little raised. Same thing over here, you got some of that. So, just over time, I mean, no matter how, unless you never drove this car, which is not what happened with this car, it's been driven, you're gonna have, the paint will just eventually start wearing like that. And I'm gonna try and show you, none of these cars had dents, but this car kind of has one. It has what I guess you call a reverse dent. Where is it? Something must have been in the back of the trunk and hit it from the inside, so it pushes out. Let me try and grab it here. There it is. So right there in the Ford lettering, the F, the blue, I'm kind of just circling it back and forth, left to right now. So that's not an indentation, it's actually poking out. It's a dent from the inside. For lack of a better term, can't think of what the opposite would be, but that's what that is. So one thing to note is that you can tell if a car has original paint by using a paint meter, which I'll be doing a video of that shortly, and I'll have that up soon. It's a pretty cool device that measures the thickness of the paint, and that's an easy way to prove if a car truly is original paint. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully some of my useless car knowledge rubbed off and was helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments or critiques, just let me know. And if you like this video, please subscribe so we can keep making some more. And if there's anything in particular that I glossed over or you want to see more of, just let me know and I'm happy to make another video. See you on the next one.